friends, welcome back. My name's Ramon. How are you today? So here we are in my bathroom. We are robed up, hair tied up. This is a t-shirt. It was wash day. And we're here to do a Fenty Friday for the first time in a long time. Mainly because there just hasn't been a lot happening. I've been moving, as you know, and just I haven't really had a need to do like a Fenty Friday devoted video just because up till recently there wasn't a lot of Fenty Skin happening since the initial launch. But we have a new launch in the line, the Instant Reset Overnight Recovery Night Cream, and I'm just gonna give you a 3-month update and talk about this as well, just because we're in London. It's been 3 months since Fenty Skin launched and I gotta get ready for bed anyway, so why not do it on camera? But before we get into it, I'm gonna ask you to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so that you know when I post more skincare, sunscreen, Fenty related content on my channel. Give the video a thumbs up, and down below, if you've been using the line for this long, do you still have some favorites? What are your standout products? Do you like the new overnight cream? Let me know in the comments. So yeah, fresh out the shower, washed my hair. I do all my skincare after I shower just because shampoos and whatnot, I've had experiences with those causing a lot of breakouts on my forehead. So I've only oil cleansed at this point. So let's get into it, starting with the Total Cleanser. So if y'all don't remember, I have beef with this product. Mainly because, you know, something I love and something that is kind of a fault with Fenty Skin, in my opinion, this is my opinion, was that she wanted all the products to have dual purposes, which is great and leave something to be desired for certain things. And for this was my biggest, I think, #2 biggest upset with the launch. Just because Fenty Beauty, my whole opinion in the first few videos I did, go watch them, was that Fenty Beauty's full coverage, it's long wear, it's water resistant, sweat proof, and so that's heavy duty to take off. And this was claiming that this could take your makeup off. And in her own Go to Bed With Me video, Rihanna just did a 1 and done cleanse and that was it. In my initial 1 month impression, I was like, I like this as a cleanser. I think it's beautiful for what it does, but this is in no way a makeup remover. Does that opinion still stand? Yes and no. This is not gonna take off a full coverage B. It's not gonna take off water resistant mascara and liner and whatnot. But that being said, moving to London, I brought limited skincare with me and I've slowly been acquiring more and I'm still waiting for my stuff from the US to get here. But I've been reaching for this a lot. I have not been doing a lot of full coverage beads. For the majority of the time, it's just been light concealer, some bronzer, a little bit of highlight, minimal makeup, not a lot of water resistant sunscreens either. I'm still testing mineral sunscreens out, but I haven't had the need to have really thick water resistant, really occlusive sunscreens on. And this has been great just as a 1 and done cleanse for the most part. As you can see, I'm working this in for quite a little bit, but I'm slowly emulsifying it as I go, giving it time to do its thing, break down what it needs to, let the surfactants do what they gotta do. It's actually a really nice cleanser. It's gentle, it leaves my skin nice and supple. And after I cleanse my face, my skin's good. It's not feeling overly stripped. It's not feeling too dried and tight. I still feel like my skin's really nicely hydrated and supple and it's not missing anything. And for a 1 and done cleanse, if I'm doing bare minimum on my face, this is good for that. If I'm doing a full coverage beat, I do find I do still have to go in with this twice over. And after that double cleanse with this, I find my skin's a little bit parched. So oil cleansing is required. But I've been reaching for this a lot and I really do enjoy it. So much so that I would consider to repurchase it. But I don't got to because guess it's on Fenty Skin PR. So I have another backup for this and I'm happy just because now that it's been this long, I'm like, you know what? I really do like this cleanser. It's really nice. I'm still testing out a lot of other cleansers, but this is still regularly in rotation. Next on the list, Fat Water. I talked about how this is my favorite product and it's still my favorite product and I still reach for this almost every single day, twice a day. This just does a lot for my skin specifically. This is one of those products where it was specifically formulated, I think, for more oily skin types, specifically for more melanated skin, brown, tan, dark, deep skin. Just because more statistically deeper skin tones tend to lean a little bit more oily. This features, you know, that witch hazel ingredient that everyone was up in arms about just because it is more stringent, more tonic, as well as some other oil controlling components to this, and a nicely hydrating, nourishing vehicle. That is what we're underlining, that is what we're bolding, just because my thing this week I feel like has been people being like, well, it has this ingredient, that's bad, and I'm like, look at what else is in the formulation. Also, you can't just look at a formula, look at an ingredient and be like, I don't like that, simply because A, you don't know how that ingredient is derived, how it's getting produced or pulled or sourced. Beyond that, you also don't know, maybe that ingredient is working in conjunction with another ingredient and not giving you the usual benefit that that ingredient normally does by itself, if that makes any sense. There's a lot of really nice humectants, there's a niacinamide in here, which is a great ingredient for a lot of things. I've reach for this every day pretty much, only because this gives me so many benefits in one package. And that's been a big trend of mine, especially, you know, when you're moving to a completely different country, you don't have all your skincare, you need to carry as few products as possible that give you as many benefits as you can get. This has been in my skincare routine heavily. And granted, when this launched, it was summer in Chicago, it was hot, it was muggy. I'm in London now, it's winter, completely different season, vibe, climate, environment. This is still a staple in my routine. I just use it a little bit differently. I layer it up substantially. I might pair this with other humectants and whatnot. Still love this. And fun fact, even though I am on Fenty Skin PR, I actually did repurchase this separately along with a night cream when it launched, and then I ended up getting both in PR the next week. So got backups on backups of this one. And now for the star of the show, the Fenty Skin Instant Reset Overnight Recovery Gel Cream. So if you go back to my original Fenty Skin videos, which there are a few of them, I talked about how my biggest upset, more than just not having a makeup remover in the line, was that there was the SPF moisturizer hybrid, but more so, she didn't really leave a lot of room for versatility in the skincare line for more oily skin versus dry skin. I feel like the line for the most part was favoring more normal to oily skin types, and I was like, what about people who want extra moisture and need more for their skin? So here we have their gel cream moisturizer, this overnight gel cream, which, looking at the ingredients list, this actually does feature a lot of the hero ingredients all throughout the Fenty Skin line. You have baobab, you have the Kalahari melon, you have niacinamide, you also have cactus flower and aloe and green tea. So you're getting a lot of like anti-inflammatory ingredients, antioxidants out of this, which is going to help to soothe your skin, alleviate any irritation and inflammation, help to repair your skin from the day's environmental stressors, the day's pollutants, and really repair your skin overnight as you reset. And then niacinamide, again, that holy grail ingredient, is going to do a lot for your skin barrier, a lot for your skin texture, appearance overall, anti-acne, sebum control, like it does everything. So this is a really interesting product for me. My thoughts on this are that this is a really versatile product, and more so in the fact that a lot of the ingredients favor, I think, a lot of skin types and do a lot for a wide variety of skin types. For oily skin, this is really nice and nourishing for nighttime. You need the smallest amount, and this goes a long way. For my dry skin types, I recommend really layering up the fat water underneath this, but go ham with this. This does so much to quench, nourish dry, parched skin and just give a lot of vitality to your skin, in my opinion. Use literally this much for my whole face. I go in and just massage it in, and my like initial thought of this when I first used it, I was like, oh, this smells amazing. This is literally like Diet Hydra Vizor. The smell is very similar, just a little bit more subdued, a little bit more sweet. And on top of that, it has a really similar effect to Hydra Vizor in my opinion, where something about Hydra Vizor just makes the skin look so good, really plush, really nourished, but somehow it like minimizes the look of texture and your skin just looks really radiant and smooth. I don't know, but this has a lot of those same effects, just in like night cream texture. And just to get a little bit closer and focus it in some more areas, it just has such a plush texture and it melts into the skin so nicely. What the fucking eye bugger? How long has that been there? And looking at it close up on the skin, it just makes my skin look so like radiant and supple. It doesn't sit heavy, but that being said, I would not recommend using this in the middle of summer if you live in a very humid climate. It's definitely more winter friendly, more dry skin friendly. But I really do like this texture. My one qualm with this, I don't feel like you get a lot of product out of this. This little thing is 50 mil, 1.7 fluid ounces, which is like standard sunscreen. So it's the same exact amount as you get in the Hydra Vizor actually. I wouldn't go through this too quickly, but if you have more dry skin and use this every day, day and night, this is not a lot and you're gonna go through it really quickly. But again, I have oily skin. This is really more of a nighttime thing for me. So, and then you can't go to sleep without putting some stuff on your lips. Why not put some gloss on? Same way you take care of your face, you gotta take care of your lips and make sure you are moisturized and supple. And why can't you go to bed glossy? Also, don't forget to take all the products down your neck. Make sure you are toning and moisturizing your neck, applying your SPF in these areas as well, just because this is all skin. You want to make sure this is nice, tight, and bright so that when you're 65, you're looking fine. Before we finish the video, let me talk about Hydra Vizor still, just because Fenty Skin review. My first thoughts on this were really happy she launched a sunscreen. I wasn't a big fan necessarily of the filters and the overall protection, just because you have really decent filters for the most part based on what you can get from the FDA. This is only an SPF 30. Not only that, it's 50 mil. Standard for sunscreen, but it's still not a lot. And for how much you pay, it's on the more luxury side in my opinion. You need a lot of product. Remember, in order to get that SPF 30, which again is not that high, you need to wear about roughly a 1/4 teaspoon to cover your face, your ears, and maybe some more for your neck as well. or the equivalent amounts to cover the length of 3 fingers, which is around 10 pumps. So I feel like you're gonna go through this really quick, especially considering you should be reapplying your sunscreen every few hours, especially if you're in more direct UV exposure, just to make sure you're maintaining that UV protection throughout the day. But again, something about this texture just makes the skin look so smooth and supple and radiant and dewy. Depending on the day, sometimes it is a little bit too emollient for my skin, so I gotta blot a little bit, but I still love the way it makes my skin look. The main caveat for this is that this shit gets in your eyes and it burns like holy hell. My reaction to that is I can't keep my eyes open and I start crying. And one of the worst times that happened to me was actually while I was driving from Milwaukee back to Chicago, and it was too emollient, it was too hot of a day. I sweated it into my eyes and I was just crying in a car on the freeway. That's a big caveat for these kinds of sunscreens, just the filter sometimes sting the eyes. It didn't burn around my eye area, just it got in my eye and it hurts. There's ways around that, making sure you're applying it around the eye area still, but not so close to the waterline, just because the sunscreen will travel. It will eventually form the filter it needs to and get closer to your eye, but having it so close to your waterline right off the bat, it's gonna get in your eye. So it's one of the things where I'm like, oh, I did like it. I don't know if I'd repurchase it. I got an NPR, so I still have a backup. But if it's gonna make you wear sunscreen, it's gonna make you enjoy wearing sunscreen, do so. It has no white cast. It looks great on the skin. The formulation for this features a lot of really great antioxidants and skin nourishing ingredients, so it is great for the skin. But I'm still torn on this. Also, kind of going back to the overnight cream, I was pressed when Rihanna used this in her Go to Bed With Me video, just because don't wear sunscreen to bed. And one other thing, Ramon little tidbit is, don't forget, as well as your face, your neck, your ears, your body's covered in skin, and there's no reason at all you cannot be taking your Fenty Skin products anywhere else on your body. Fun fact, I love using this and the overnight cream and a lot of other places just to make sure all my skin is supple and juicy. And trust me, if you like those kisses down low, make it a treat for everyone involved. And yeah, thanks for getting ready for bed with me. Fenty Skin 90-day review. Still loving most of it. Love the overnight cream. Fat water still my favorite. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell so that you know when I post more skincare, sunscreen, Fenty related content on my channel. Give this video a thumbs up and down below. Do you have some of the same opinions I do? What are some of your favorites in the line? What are you still loving 90 days in? Do you like the overnight recovery cream? What else are you waiting for Fenty Skin to launch? I'm looking for serums. I'm looking for actives. You're welcome, guys. Bye.